It's Time Warner Cable's Local Edition. My name is Brad Pomerantz. Our guest today is Bob Blumenfield. He's a member of the California State Assembly. And sir, I know you've been a big booster of what's known as a middle-class scholarship to try to decrease tuition and fees for the UC and CSU system. But you're also focused on our veterans. Yes. We have many veterans coming home, especially from Afghanistan with the wind down. Tell us about your bill, 2133.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's so important. We have over 30,000 veterans returning from those wars this year. We've been in the longest protracted period of war our nation has ever seen.
Right.
And we've got to do something for these folks who have given so much to their country, and many of them are coming back wounded both physically and mentally, and we need to integrate them back into society and give them a chance. And we have some tools out there, the federal GI Bill, and the post 9/11 GI Bill is great.
But what about here in California? Tell us about the Combat to College Act.
Right. So the Combat to College Act is part of a package of bills that I've been working on to help veterans in general and specifically helping veterans with education. And what this bill does is it says, we understand when you come back to college, it's hard sometimes to get integrated back into school. So we want to give you priority. Priority for our community college system, priority for our UC system, and do that both because it benefits you, but also because you're taking down federal GI benefits and it will benefit the state.
So for community college, it would simply mean priority registration.
Priority registration.
Which can be challenging given that classes are dramatically impacted on the community college level. Right. Let's put that aside for a second. What about for CSU and UC? Are they getting priority admission?
Priority registration.
So if they are admitted,
right,
they will then get to go to the top of the line to try to get their classes.
Correct.
I mean, at first blush, they've done a lot for us, but wow, I mean, what if you're not a veteran and you want to graduate in 4 years?
Well, you know, there's a lot of ways, there's a lot of things we're doing for students all across the board, but this is basically saying, you know, veterans, we need to give them a help up. And particularly what this is doing is the registration has to deal with timing because they get federal GI benefits for 3 years. And we want to make sure that they can take advantage of those benefits. And the reason that we have this bill is because without having this longer extension for the time period that they get priority registration, they already have priority registration. This is extending the time frame.
I understand.
If they don't have that, many of them are going to lose out on those benefits. And, you know, for example, people say, well, the time limit's fine right now. Well, a lot of folks, 1 in 5 has come back with some sort of traumatic brain injury. And it takes time to recover from that.
So they have 3 years over. It doesn't have to be 3 years from the moment they return for the federal GI.
It doesn't because of the bill that I'm putting forward, which allows that 15-year window for them to be able to take advantage of that.
So how's the bill doing?
It's doing great. I mean, we had a couple of hearings. There was a little opposition. We've worked through it, and
bipartisan support?
It has bipartisan support. I have a Republican co-author and Jim Silva.
Sure.
And we're moving it forward, and I feel very, very confident about the prospects of this bill. It's one of those bills, a lot of times you work in legislation, you're fighting until the end. This one, we've been working with all the stakeholders, and I feel very good about it moving forward.
What about the governor? I mean, it's interesting. I never realized the governor just does not get involved, any governor, with legislation until it gets to his desk. So you could work so hard and then...
Yes, you know, different bills, different times. I've had the governor engage in bills earlier on.
This?
This one he hasn't yet, but indications from his team, we've certainly presented this to him, have all been relatively positive. And the various, you know, we've worked in putting this bill together. We reached out to the UC system. We reached out to the CSU system.
So they know it's coming.
They know it's coming, and in fact, they had a hand in helping amend it.
Bob, I want to thank you for joining us. Bob Blumenfield, member of the California State Assembly. I'm Brad Pomerantz. We thank you for joining us. Thanks for watching Time Warner Cable's Local Edition.